Hey folks, and welcome to the Truck King YouTube channel. Subaru is definitely known for its all-wheel drive, but I don't think most people think of Subaru as an off-road brand. Previously, any Subaru I've seen doing real off-roading, well, they had to go to the aftermarket to get it ready. Well, now we have a model that comes straight from the factory, looking like it's ready for the trail. Meet the Subaru Outback Wilderness, and you know we're gonna review it. So in this video, we're gonna do a little bit of on-road driving, but then we're gonna head off-road, find the mud, and see how this thing performs. Let's kick it off with the walk around. So under the hood of the Outback Wilderness is a turbocharged 2.4 liter boxer engine. It makes 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque sent through a continuously variable transmission. Now, the Outback Wilderness does get one powertrain upgrade, which I think is interesting. It gets a beefier final drive. I believe it's a 444 final drive ratio. So they're really trying to add more torque to this model, which I think is a good thing. Now, the other things you can see, the other upgrades that have arrived here, the biggest one is a 1-inch lift. So everything's sitting a bit taller. And then another huge one, a set of all-terrain tires. And guys, I love this. On this model, you don't get the 18-inch wheels you get on other Outbacks. You get 17-inch wheels. Finally, the off-road model comes with smaller wheels. This is something I always preach. It's smart to have less wheel and more tire, and that's what Subaru has done here. At the back end of this Outback Wilderness, you'll notice this big plastic bumper, and that's kind of the theme here. You get this plastic cladding all the way around, plus these little gold accents, and we'll show you a little bit more on that later on. I also want to show you what's going on inside. We do have a powered hatch here, and quite a bit of space to store all of your stuff. Plus, you're getting this really nice heavy-duty rubberized floor mat, so you can wash this out. But there's something I want to show you guys, which I think is really important, especially on an off-road model. That is a full-size spare tire. So just in case you are off the beaten path and you blow a tire, you don't have to put up with, a flat repair kit or just one of those little donuts. So again, nice to have that, and nice to be able to close your hatch at the touch of a button. We interrupt this exciting Truck King review with some even more exciting news. We have teamed up with the folks over at Ronin Factory to give you guys a chance to win this wide-body Ford Raptor. It has 17-inch method race wheels, 40-inch tires, and a whole bunch of other aftermarket upgrades. It looks like an absolute monster. The way this works is you visit Ronin Factory's website and you buy something. They sell all kinds of accessories for your ride, bullet antennas, car cleaning products, clothing, and even coffee. Now, once you buy something, those dollars become entries. So you're automatically entered to win this beast of a Ford Raptor. And maybe the best part, Ronin Factory teams up with a charity for all of its giveaways. In this case, it is Freedom Service Dogs of America. So if you're looking for some super cool new accessories for your truck, buy them from Ronin Factory, be entered to win the Raptor, and help out these amazing service dogs. That sounds like a win-win in my books. Don't forget to hit the link below in the description to check out their website. And now, back to our originally scheduled video. Another important standard feature on the Outback Wilderness is this beefy roof rack up here. And the one thing I actually really want to point out, these little tie-down hooks right here. This isn't something we see a lot on roof racks, so it's nice to have those when you're securing a canoe, a kayak, a boat, or whatever you happen to be putting up here. Well, now we're out here driving the Outback, and we're starting with a little bit of off-roading. We're out here on our local farm road. It's full of water today. You can see it all right here. And we really wanted to feel how the Subaru would feel, with a bit of speed on a pretty rough road. And I don't know, Dad, it's handling it pretty dang well, I gotta say. You do get extra ground clearance here, and it is a suspension lift, so you have extra suspension. And yeah, I don't know, it didn't feel really close to bottoming out, did it?
No, not on this road.
Yeah.
And a really interesting thing too is you were talking about that cladding earlier. Mm-hmm. it's really firing the water off to both sides. Normally on this road here, I end up having to run the windshield wipers on pretty much anything that we take up here. But with this, it just fires out both sides. It doesn't barely touch the windshield.
That is interesting, especially because that's usually just, you know, thought of as a styling thing, but I guess you get those, you know, extra wide fenders kind of thing, and it blocks all the water. That's smart.
Yeah, I don't know if they've engineered it that way, but it works that way.
So now we're off the farm road and we're just on road, and you know, that's another big advantage of this Outback is once you get on road, it drives pretty much like a normal Outback. Actually, I'd almost say it drives a little better than a normal Outback because you get that extra torque from, you know, a larger final drive ratio. Clearly, someone at Subaru said the off-road model needs more power, needs more torque, and that's what you really feel when you put your foot into it. Power is pretty much right there, right?
It's a torquey little motor, and when you kick it, it goes. Mm-hmm. The other thing I'm feeling here today, I thought I just mentioned it getting off that farm road, is this is a much lighter vehicle than some of the stuff we're used to. So, like, those big puddles there, they're deep holes. And we're not getting that hard hit and bounce back that you do in a 6,000 pound truck. So, just kind of another point in the Subaru's favor.
Quickly, we'll touch on the interior here. It is updated for this new model year of Outback, and I think it looks pretty nice. The screen is nicely incorporated, some kind of cool materials up here in front of you. I guess my only complaint is Subaru's Starlink infotainment system has always been a bit convoluted, and it's a bit better now, but it's still just kind of busy and doesn't make sense. For instance, finding the HVAC screen here was a little weird. They've left a couple physical buttons, but not that many. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the infotainment here.
Two of the things that every vehicle uses every single day that somebody gets into it is radio and HVAC, and those things should be right up front. And in this one here, when I gotta like go through one screen to get to another screen to find my AC button, that's a no-go.
Yeah.
And Steve might have mentioned, but I want to throw this in here, which is I've been watching the television commercials the same as you have for this Wilderness, and I see what Subaru's trying to push, this real off-road ready vehicle. So if anybody's watching the kind of stuff that we're doing today and wondering why we're taking a Subaru and running it through stuff that we normally take Jeeps through, it's because of those commercials for me. Because anytime a manufacturer says, hey, look at everything you can do, I'll be like, fine, I'm gonna go do it. And we'll see if your Wilderness can stand up to my Wilderness.
And now, folks, it is time for the off-road portion of the review. So, we are headed to the left hook to see how this thing handles. Now, I'll be straight up with you guys right off the bat. I'm not sure we're gonna be able to do it, and I will tell you why. We do have 9.5 inches of ground clearance here, which feels pretty good, looks pretty good too. The approach angle, though, still only 20 degrees. Now, that is up from 18, so it's better in the Wilderness model, but look how big the nose is. You can see it here. The Outback suffers from a big nose, a big overhang in front of that front wheel. If it had more wheelbase, with the wheels really pushed out to the corners, well, then maybe I wouldn't be talking about this. But I think the very first sort of little divot we hit as we enter the left hook, I think it's gonna sink us. But I am optimistic, and I promise you I will try. So we're heading out there right now. Oof! We already had our first clearance issue right there. We picked up a rock, and it's already getting rutted out right here. All right, well, here's my first turn into the left hook here. So let's see what she does. Now, I am gonna put it quickly into mud mode, but I just don't know. Uh-oh, that stopped me. Let me take a peek out and take a look what's going on. Oh. Well, this is what I was kind of talking about inside. Sadly, this thing just has such a long nose, and this is the very first obstacle, and I have to tell you guys, this is mild. Normally when you watch these, we just plow right through here, but the fact that it's doing this here tells me that when I get in the mud pit and then transition to the hill, it's gonna rip this nose off or damage this plastic, and we're not in the vehicle damaging business. So we're gonna have to go find mud somewhere else. This one is not left hook approved. Well, we tried and we failed. The left hook was a little bit much, but I will say, just even in that tiny little rut there, the tires were feeling really good in the mud. Now we're on our way to find some other mud, and I decided to do a little bit of Baja style rallying, so I'm picking up the speeds here. Oh, I kissed the skid plate right there. But you know what? It's handling pretty nicely. The added suspension is definitely making a difference. There's no doubt about that. It's keeping me fairly comfortable. And the turbo, I mean, the turbo's got lots of power. You're really able to put your foot into it and it just goes right off the line. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying this powertrain too. Okay, now here is probably one of the best tests of the all-wheel drive system. It's our offset ruts. So it's basically gonna get one wheel right up in the air and we'll see what the symmetrical all-wheel drive does. Now, there's dual mode X mode here. I have it in deep snow and mud mode. And right about here, oh, nicely done, Subaru. And then the next wheel lift is gonna be right here. Wow, it's allowing me to just creep through here like a vehicle that's fully locked. And these ruts are usually a little bit muddy too, but it just doesn't matter. This thing is just walking through. And now, just for argument's sake, I'm gonna try one with the X mode in normal. So let's see how much that X mode really plays a role in getting the power to the wheel that needs it. So we creep in once again. And there's my rear lift right there. Okay, see, now it's struggling. It's struggling. It's struggling. Oh, come on, send the power. There we go. Without X mode on, it's a massive difference. It's doing it, but again, it's acting like most of the other all-wheel drive systems that we use, which means that it's slipping, and then it's saying, holy crap, we're slipping. What do I do? And then it figures it out. Nice. So a definite difference there between X mode and non. Having it in X mode, yeah, it felt really good, really capable. Well, after those ruts and that little bit of water, I'm feeling pretty good about this Subaru. So we are coming up the hydro line. I don't think we're gonna go through the big pit at the end, to be honest, but we're coming up anyways. We'll feel it out. And whoof, okay, now we're in the ruts. And this is where, yeah, there's some belly draggage. There's some belly draggage. Oh, this is already my big takeaway here on this Outback. Tires are excellent. The grip is good. The all-wheel drive system is getting the power down really well. The final drive ratio, I feel the torque. You really do feel the difference. This thing feels powerful, and it feels like you can modulate. Everything is here for a great off-road package, except for approach, departure, breakover, and kind of ground clearance. 9.5 inches of ground clearance, that's not bad, but the 20-degree approach angle is killing me. And see, like right now, there's a rock up there. Oh, it just cleared it and the wheel climbed it. Thank you, wheel. But, oh, there it is again. Uh-oh, now I'm getting real turtled. Yeah, see, guys, I'm sorry, call me weak if you want, but I can't go through the end pit. The rise out of that pit is steep. There's some big rocks in there, and I'm not out here to break this Subaru. So I made it to the hardest part of the hydro line, but I'm not doing the hardest part because I've already been dragging way too much. Okay, we've gotten as far as we're gonna get. We're gonna turn around, and you know what? This is a great off-road test too. I say this a lot. If a vehicle can hop out of ruts that it's in, it's a good vehicle. And this thing just came right up and out of the ruts. That was really not bad. These Yokohama Geolanders, oof. There's the automatic reverse braking. It freaked out because there's a whole bunch of brush behind the vehicle. Seriously though, again, these Geolanders, I came in here with really no expectations, and I feel like they're the star of the show. It pulled me right up and out of that rut. It got the power where I needed it. Pretty cool. Well, folks, we are coming to the end of this one. So what's the verdict on this Outback Wilderness? Well, I think this is a legitimate off-road package with one Achilles heel. We showed it to you. The approach and departure just aren't quite there to make it a hardcore off-roader, but everything else Subaru has done here is really a consequential upgrade, and I find myself being really impressed by this package. It did actually better out there than I thought it would today. So, you know what, like I said, that's it for this one. Of course, I want to hear from you. Go below, let me know what you think of the Outback Wilderness. As always, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member of the channel, and then come right back here to Truck King to see what we're testing next. And if you'll excuse me, I got lots more trails to go run. See ya!